Hey, you. You listen to Crips and Corks every week. Well, what if I told you that you have the chance to see us live and unedited?
That's right. We're going to be live on the main stage at the Poetity Theater right here in Pittsburgh, PA.
We're going back to the beginning by covering the topic of our second episode, the Amityville Whorehouse, and all new facts and features.
But DJ, what if I can't make it there in person?
Well, lucky for you, we are offering special streaming tickets so that you can watch from the comfort of your own home if you can't make it on the day or if you don't live in the Pittsburgh tri-state area.
Wait, you mean I can watch from my bathtub?
Yeah,
Or from behind the Wendy's?
I guess so.
Wait, so I can watch...
Paul, leave it to their imagination. So go to the link in our description below to get your tickets today, and we'll see you there.
Also, BYOB tickets are available for those in person.
And now for this week's regularly scheduled episode. Prepare for trouble.
And make it double.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all peoples within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse.
James.
Team Rocket blasting off at the speed of light.
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
Meow. That's right. And welcome back to episode 73 of Crips and Corks. I'm your host, Jesse, here with my co-host.
James, as usual.
Wait, hang on, I think we fucked that up. I'm your host, DJ, here with my co-host.
Paul, as usual.
That's better.
Yes. And we are here for a very special Pokemon-themed episode of Crips and Corks. Now, don't get stressed out. We're not talking about Pokemon the entire time, okay? So it's gonna be okay. I have some spooky stuff for you.
And in case you're wondering, this is not a holiday that you somehow forgot about. Paul just had an idea, and honestly, I ran out of vetoes for the year already.
Yeah, sometimes you just get lucky. And I'm sure there's a lot of Pokemon stands out there. So I'm super excited about this episode. And as part of our Pokemon episode, I have assigned me and DJ to become trainers and dress as the type of Pokemon trainer you would be, like water type, grass type, fire type, whatever. So DJ, what are you serving? What kind of trainer is this?
So, funny story.
Okay.
This was Plan Z.
Okay.
So when you told me, so initially you said, oh, you should do an outfit like a Pokemon type.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. And then you said, no, you have to dress up like a trainer. And I had no idea what I was going to do. So I went on Amazon and I ordered an Ash Ketchum costume. And the Pikachu to go with it.
Yes, we got our Pikachu.
And last night at 10 o'clock at night, it was supposed to be delivered between 3 and 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And at 10 o'clock last night, I got a message from Amazon saying it would not be delivered until Monday. So I literally woke up this morning and was like, okay, how are we going to do this? So I looked up water type Pokemon trainers, and I saw that they wore lots of blues, lots of grays, gray blues, and so I am a water type trainer.
Okay. Well, a lot of the trainers do wear just like basic normal people clothes, kind of like you're wearing. So I
did see like a lot of them did have the bandanas. I did see a couple of them have the ball caps on, and a lot of them had jackets. Now, quite a few of them had really cool like jackets with like they were navy blue and they had like a white bar around the arm and the stand-up collar. I did not have time to find out and go that. I had this in my closet, and one of the guys was wearing like a loose hoodie sweatshirt like this, and I was like, perfect.
Period.
What are you?
I am a grass type trainer. You can see my grass woodsy themed shirt on. And so I'm a grass type trainer. And as part of this assignment for the Pokemon episode, you had to choose 3 Pokemon you would be training with. So, I'm curious, DJ, what 3 Pokemon as a water type trainer are you going to be training with?
I'm going to go with Squirtle,
Okay.
Gyarados, and Psyduck.
Psyduck. Okay, these are all very good choices. Now, a lot of them, like Psyduck, he's going to be kind of useless until he evolves into Golduck. But once he's a Golduck, that'll be cool. Gyarados is a really awesome Pokemon.
Honestly, I only chose Psyduck because Misty had a Psyduck who always had a headache, and I have never identified with a Pokemon more.
Yeah, Psyduck...
Okay, that's not true. The Jigglypuff who sings and everyone goes to sleep, and then he gets really mad and doodles on them with a marker.
That's
I do
funny
identify
too.
with that too.
That's funny. But you do have a really powerful team. I mean, Squirtle evolving into Blastoise and Gyarados itself. I'm very impressed, honestly, because Magikarp evolves into Gyarados. And so I'm not sure if you had the Magikarp and it evolved into Gyarados or you just caught a Gyarados.
Oh,
So that's
I was trying to start with the basic level of all of them,
and that's okay.
it's okay.
Now,
Yeah,
My-
what are your 3?
my Pokemon would, of course, be Bulbasaur. I have my Bulbasaur right here with me. He's right there, my good Bulbasaur. And then I would have a Gloom. And then, rounding off my team, I would have a Butterfree because I feel like I need a flying type Pokemon in case I need to go places.
That's a very Paul type Pokemon.
Yeah, Butterfree is a really awesome Pokemon. It has sleep powder and it can put you to sleep. Now, if you couldn't tell, I have spent many hours of my childhood playing Pokemon, so I know a lot about Pokemon.
I was not as involved. I watched it growing up, but I was there for Pikachu and the stories.
Yeah, honestly, it's such a good show, and like collecting the cards as a kid was so much fun, and Pokemon played such a big part of my childhood. I just had to dedicate an episode to it, and this was the perfect episode to dedicate to it, and you'll see why later. But for now, we have another reveal for you guys. As you remember from last week's episode, we could not get Jeremy out of his box. And through many trials and tribulations, Jeremy has been taken out of the box.
He is in the nursery. Let me go get him.
Get him out, get my baby out of the nursery. He's probably taking a nap.
Get up, you lazy freeloader!
You sound like my mom. Jesus. Now, here is our grand reveal of Jeremy without his box. Now, when I had birthed Jeremy.
I birthed Jeremy.
Well, you are the loosest, so that's not surprising. But you can see he has a graduation cap. He is already graduating from school. He is a prodigy. He actually graduated from the Paul Miltenberger LLC School of Paranormal Activity, Investigation, and Methodology with a master's. So he will be accompanying us on all of our paranormal adventures from here on out.
But Paul doesn't want to put batteries in him.
Yes, because I think it would be so creepy if he went off without batteries in him.
But we have to put batteries in him at least once to see if he actually works.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, we'll put batteries in him once, and then we'll take him out. Because if there's no batteries in him, and he goes off while we're investigating...
Please do not break my tablet.
I won't break your tablet, I promise.
Thank you.
I'm just excited this
You're
episode.
very excited.
Now, do you have anything to add about Jeremy, Pokemon, before I get into Paul's Pop Culture Corner?
No, go for it.
Well, in today's Paul's Pop Culture Corner, I wanted to talk about someone who has really been taking a lot of my thought space this week, and someone who I think we could all embody in our everyday lives. And of course, I'm talking about that American woman who went over to Pakistan to marry a 19-year-old. You haven't seen this on TikTok?
No.
This American woman, I think she's from New York, she went over to Pakistan to marry a 19-year-old.
Okay.
No, she's much older than him. She went over there and met him and his parents said, no, you cannot marry this woman. And now she is refusing to leave Pakistan. She has done press conferences with the Pakistani peoples, and she is saying things like, I need $20,000 and you guys need to clean this place up. This is a mess. You need to take me to the government officials and we need to get this stuff together. And then she keeps changing the amount of money she wants. She has a chokehold on the Pakistani people for no reason too. They could easily just deport her, but she is blatantly refusing to leave Pakistan, saying she's gonna fix up Pakistan, saying it looks like trash, and they need to give her like $20,000 to $100,000 and pay her bodyguard at least $100,000 every 2 weeks. And she's going to local Pakistani businesses and like trying to promote them. It's insane. I am so shocked you haven't heard this.
It's times like these that really make me embarrassed to be white.
I don't think it's... Well, she's not white, first of all. And she's actually, like... She has claimed, like, their religion and everything. So, like...
Muslim?
She actually likes... Yes. She actually really does like Pakistan.
Okay, that's great. Like, this is giving, like, the worst of America. This country is a dump, and I'm gonna fix it up, but I'm gonna extort you for money.
I think if you saw the TikToks, because everyone is like, it's not something like that. It's something like funny. Everybody's laughing about it.
Oh, like everyone, I'm sure they're laughing at it because like this American woman is coming over.
Yeah, and she's like a celebrity over there now too. Like all the local news stations are interviewing her and stuff over there.
Yes, but it's not, they don't love her. They love to laugh at her.
Oh no, they love her. She has men lining up to marry her. Like they're older men, and they're offering her a lot of money to marry her. But she's becoming like a celebrity.
Okay, well
there.
then like she should marry one of them and shut up.
Yeah, I don't know.
This whole
whatever.
I think it's very problematic to like be over there and to be like, you have to give me this much money and place is a shithole, but I'm gonna stay here.
She didn't call it a shithole. She was like, we need to like fix this up, get it together. We're gonna get this together. I'm gonna show you a few TikToks after this.
Okay.
Cause like it's like a funny thing. Like she's the definition. People are saying like she's the definition of fake it till you make it. Like
truly.
Cause like they could easily just deport her, but like she's just like, no, I'm staying. I'm not going
she's
back.
lucky she doesn't end up in the Pakistani prison system.
Right? Exactly. You would think. But
Because Pakistan, like, they have interpretations of their own laws there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. It was just a funny thing. I've seen her on my TikTok.
She's lucky that apparently the people on TikTok in Pakistan love her. Otherwise, she'd probably be in jail.
Honestly, yeah. Or they would have just deported her.
And also, how old is she? Like 40, 50?
She's probably like in her 30s.
30s, and she's going to marry a 19-year-old?
Yes, problematic. That's probably why her parents said no.
That's really problematic. Did the parents know she was that old?
I have no clue.
Was this an arranged marriage, or were they just talking on Kik?
No, I will say she did get so famous over there that like the parents and the son kind of went into hiding a little bit, from what I gather. They didn't want to be on the news or anything.
Yeah,
and,
I don't blame them.
I mean, this woman just wanted to marry her son, and they said no. And now all of a sudden, it's like this huge international story that even
Did she know he was 19?
I have no clue. Maybe, probably, yeah.
Okay.
It's a really interesting story. It's crazy. Like I said, if you haven't seen the TikToks, go watch the TikToks. Some of them are really funny. Now, I do get what you're saying. I don't want to get canceled. It is kind of problematic to go into a country and be like, this is a shithole, give me money. I get what you're saying, and I agree.
Like, what are we giving her money for? Is it damages because she flew over there to marry someone and then she didn't get married?
No.
Or is it give me money so that I can live here and don't have to work? Is it give me money and I'll fix things? Because that's giving Donald Trump.
It's definitely like give me money so I can live here. And then like maybe fix up things. Who knows at this point? Who knows at this point? Now, well, DJ.
Whoa, is that her?
Yes, that is her.
Oh. Ooh. Yikes, I do not blame.
Now you see why the parents said
no. She is, I hate to comment on anyone's appearance, but woof. She is trespassing. She is not passing. She crisscrossed one too many times.
Very.
She is not a dollar diva. That is a dog.
That is that poor girl. Not poor girl. She's doing whatever she's doing over there.
Oh God! Yikes! Woof.
So that's today's pop culture corner.
Okay.
All right.
Let's drink.
Let's get into
I need a drink after that.
today's paranormal pairing. Now, today's paranormal pairing comes all the way from Frostburg, Maryland. It's exotic.
Frost.
It's from the Toasted Goat Winery. Toasted Goat Winery. And this is their dragon fruit wine. It's called the Dragon Goat, okay? Now, I did get this as a Christmas present. And now, it has been a long time since Christmas, and I formally apologize because I forget which person gave this to me. So I'm going to thank all three people that it probably could be. So thank you to my stepmom, Kathy/Penelope. Thank you to my stepmom for this wine if you got this for me. If you didn't get this for me, thank you to my brother's girlfriend. I'm not going to say your name on the pod because I'm not sure if you're comfortable with it. So thank you to my brother's girlfriend. If you're the one who got me this wine, and if you were not the one who got me this wine, and it was someone else who got me this wine, thank you to whoever got me this wine. And you can comment down below and I will write your name and I will correct this in the next episode probably, maybe. We'll see. But
who knows?
Let's give this an open. Finally, the first ASMR in a while. Period. Okay. I'm not gonna judge it by its smell. But so far, we're not looking too good.
Every time I buy one, you judge it by the smell.
ASMR pour. Okay, let me give you a good pour. Or do you just want to take that one and then...
Woof!
ASMR pour number 2. Well, let's see how this goes. Cheers!
Cheers!
Tastes a lot better than it smells. You don't like it?
It tastes like feet.
It's like borderline on a fruit gusher for me. So I'm gonna give this 2.5 grapes. 2.5 grapes. I'm sorry, Toasted Goat Winery.
I'm gonna give it 0. I really don't like it. It tastes like feet.
Yeah. So if you're in Frostburg, Maryland, I have tried other wines from the Toasted Goat Winery, and I can attest that their other wines are good and they are better. So do not take this one wine as the Toasted Goat Winery is not a good winery. There are other good wines from the Toasted Goat Winery, okay? Now this one, I'm gonna be real honest. This was a Christmas present. But I have to be honest for my viewers and say it's not a very good wine. I'm super sorry to say.
I'm so disappointed. I was so looking forward to that.
I still appreciate it. I appreciate the gift, but it's not
Thank you for giving us content.
Yeah, thank you for giving us content. Thank you. And we're just going to move right along from that and get into today's story.
Yes.
All right, DJ, let me tell you a story.
Please do.
I dreamed a dream of a bird gone by, so different from this bird I'm living, that could take me away to a separate place, a sweet escape. Take me away, because I'm like a bird. I don't know where my soul is. And I don't know where my home is. And I want to be with the blackbird singing in the dead of night. Because I'm free as a bird now. And this bird cannot change. And boom, clap, sound of my bird. Okay, all right. We gotta get it together, y'all. Okay, time to get this together, okay? Because during this episode, we gotta catch them all, okay? Because today, we are going to be talking about none other than the Thunderbird! That's right, kids. Today we're talking about the Thunderbird. And DJ has left Crips and Quirks forever, and I will be your new host, co-host, producer, top and bottom, if the price is right, sound mixer, and baker. That's right, we're specializing in bread and poultry.
Poultry is... I have so many thoughts already, and none of them have to do about the Thunderbird. They're all about that intro.
Yeah.
Before you get into the Thunderbird, what was the inspiration behind that?
Well, I needed an intro, and I thought, Thunderbird, bird, birds sing music, Beyonce, Anne Hathaway. And it just went from there. Now, and believe it or not, I did make that intro sober. I made it before I went to my job a couple days.
Oh my god. Is this why you texted me last night and said, I wish I could sing?
That is why I texted you that.
I can just imagine you in the office. I dreamed a dream of birds gone by. And then messaging me, God, I wish I could sing. The janitor in here is weeping. His ears are bleeding.
God, I do wish I could sing
I'm gonna
so
drink
bad.
I need a sip of the Veet wine after that.
No, DJ, back to today's real topic. Do you know anything about the Thunderbird?
I know a bit.
A bit? Okay.
But I'm excited about what new things you're going to teach me.
Now, what is the Thunderbird? Good question, Susie. The Thunderbird is essentially a very, very big bird. Now, not to be confused with like Sesame Street's Big Bird, okay? This is an actual bird, okay? And it has a wingspan of 14 to 30 feet. Now,
that is a big bird.
It is a big bird. Now, to put that into perspective for those people at home who aren't good at math like me, a bald eagle has a wingspan of 5.5 to 7.5 feet, okay? And the largest bird known to man, well, to science, is the wandering albatross, and that has a wingspan of 12 feet, compared to the Thunderbird, with a wingspan of 14 to 30 feet.
So baby Thunderbird probably has this wingspan 14 feet.
Probably, yeah.
And then it roughly doubles in size by the time it's an adult.
Exactly. So moral of the story is, this bird is huge.
Huge.
Now, sightings of the Thunderbird have occurred in the United States, South America, and Canada.
I've never been able to find South America on a map.
Me either.
All I can find is South America.
Shut the fuck up.
Those who know.
America. That's a good one, actually. I like that one.
Drake and Josh. I'm not racist.
Now, Thunderbirds are depicted as looking like very large birds.
Really? Really? The big bird is depicted as a big bird.
But there are some tales that depict the bird as being half human and half bird.
Oh, I don't like that. I saw the crows have eyes. 1, 2, 3, and 4 with Moira Rose.
Now, the reason there's such a big difference is because there are a lot of tribes, like Native American tribes, who tell versions of the Thunderbird tale. So that's why there's variations in it. But a lot of the variations do have the color of the bird being black or brown.
Okay.
Or featherless. There are versions of the tale that it's featherless, okay? Now, featherless birds are very creepy. And that's okay, you know. I'm featherless too, so it happens to the best of us. Do you have any input? I feel like you were
No.
Okay. Moving on forward. So, perhaps the most prominent tales of the Thunderbird come from those Native American legends I just talked about. And in those legends, the Thunderbird is actually a spirit whose wings are actually... So the wings are so large, when they flap, it causes thunder and can bring storms. So essentially...
Boom, clap, sound of my heart now. Na, 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 na.
Exactly. Continuing Brat's Summer right along with Charlie XCX.
If Brett's summer doesn't end, then fascist winter can't start.
Period. Now, so, the Thunderbird can control the weather, right? Mm-hmm. And there's other tales saying the Thunderbird can control lightning as well. And there's some...
So this bird is Zeus.
Maybe the American... I'm not... Like, I know Zeus, but, like, I don't know. Like
Zeus is Greek.
Yeah, well, I don't know his full lore. I was going to say maybe it's like the Native American version of Zeus. But there are tales, like the Native American tales, there are tales of people who live underground, right? Or spirits who live underground. Okay. And those underground spirits are at war with the Thunderbird.
Why?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Now they're just at war. Okay. And so the lightning striking the earth is the Thunderbird attacking the underground spirits at war. So that's
Who's the good guy and who's the bad guy?
Well, obviously the Thunderbird.
Okay.
And the Native Americans really do revere Thunderbirds. There are a lot of depictions of Thunderbirds, and if you look at totem poles, most Native American totem poles do have depictions of Thunderbirds. I should have put up a picture of but for the video listeners, I'll have a picture of totem poles so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But there are a lot of Native American depictions of the Thunderbird on totem poles. And if you know anything about totem poles, they are very sacred to Native Americans. Yes. So the fact that they're even on the totem pole just tells you how sacred that these birds are to the Native Americans. And they would even leave like gifts and offerings. Like let's say the weather's bad or something. Like they would leave gifts and offerings to bring good weather, good luck, all that sort of things. So the Native Americans are really, really close and really do revere the Thunderbird, okay?
Okay. I can get behind that.
Yes, yes. Now, one story I really like is of a Native American hunter, right? Mm-hmm. So this is in the middle of winter, and if you live in America or the United States, if you live in the United States, you know how harsh our winters can be, or even like especially in Canada, the winters are so harsh there. Now, this story tells of this Native American who goes out in search of food for his people, and he's wandering through the woods and the plants and whatever. He's wandering through the woods, and he comes across a whale that has been beached on the land. Now, keep in mind, he's not like really close to the ocean. He's not like on a beach. Okay. He just comes across this whale that's just laying there. And
it was just me sunbathing.
That was just DJ on vacation.
I was just trying to read my book and enjoy the forest.
Oh my god.
You didn't have to call me a whale.
Oh my god.
This is why I don't wear Speedos anymore.
No, the orca did have scratch marks.
It was an orca?
Yes.
Oh.
The orca had claw marks where you could see that whatever lifted it out of the ocean and grabbed it, lifted it out of the ocean. So right off the bat, like, this Thunderbird was so big it can pick up a whale. Like, you know how big whales are? Like, that was insane to me.
I love orcas.
I know, you love whales. And that's okay. So, moving right along here. So, the Native American looks at this orca, and he sees it on the land, and he, like, thinks to himself, like, oh, I think I know what did this. And then he hears what he thought was thunder over the trees, and that confirms his suspicions that it was the Thunderbird. And then he sees some feathers the size of canoes. And so he takes one of the feathers and goes back to his tribe because of course, he can't carry a whale by himself.
Yes.
So he goes back to his tribe to discuss this whale that was potentially given to them by the Thunderbird. And there is this discussion of whether the whale was a gift to them or the Thunderbird was going to come back for the orca. So they weren't sure if they should go and eat the orca or not, you know?
If it was a gift, why didn't the Thunderbird bring it to the village?
That's what they were saying. But ultimately, the villagers did decide to go and get that orca and eat it.
Oh, no.
So a lot of them went, and they even set up camp around the orca for a little bit, because it took them, like, as you can imagine, it takes a long time to, like, get everything off the whale and stuff. And while they're getting everything off the whale and eating everything and all that stuff, a storm rolls in. and they hear thunder. Because you see, that whale was not a gift from the Thunderbird.
I knew it.
The storm rages on them, and the storm is so powerful it turns them all to stone. And that's the story. They all turn to stone. So more of the story, don't take shit that isn't yours, okay?
Yeah, Connor.
Damn, calling out your brother on the pod.
Yeah. we don't even live in the same time zone anymore.
Right. But also, I really like that story. I think it's fun to picture of...
It's really good. The only thing is, I question is, like, them turning to stone.
Hey, I mean, we'll get into theories, but there is
I'm gonna retell it in my head, but they were all struck by lightning.
Or maybe they froze to death, and, like, they just said they turned to stone. Because, like, technically, when you freeze to death, you, like, become hard. So maybe that's what it meant. But when I read it, maybe it was a translation issue.
Okay, I dig it.
But also, like, in its essence, potentially.
Yes, I appreciate its essence.
A spiritual being instead of a physical being. Now, you might be wondering to yourself right now, like, so, Thunderbird, is it just Native American stories? Like, is this a real thing? Is it like the Greek gods? Like, is it just legends and things like that?
Is it?
Well, let's get into some real life encounters with the Thunderbird. So, in 1890, 2 Arizona cowboys killed a very large featherless bird that was described as having the mouth of an alligator and the scaly hands of Kristen Stewart. They supposedly dragged it back to town.
Oh my god.
And the picture I will put on the screen and DJ can see in front of him, that is supposedly the picture of the bird that they killed. And
this is a hoax.
Hey.
No, you asked me if I knew anything about the Thunderbird. They did take a picture, but the picture has since been lost. Mm-hmm. And this is like a photoshopped recreation.
I was going to tell that, but thank you.
Oh shit! You were saying it so convincingly that I thought, like, oh no, he's never heard this story.
But no, DJ is right. And if you're looking at the screen, it is very clearly a pterodactyl. Photoshopped into a picture of pioneer peoples. But you're right, the picture has been lost, right?
Yes. But it did exist.
Exactly.
The people, there's discussions of the picture. The picture was taken, it was developed, people had seen the picture, but then it's been lost.
Exactly. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the bird really did look like exactly. It looks a lot like a pterodactyl, and what they described it as is very pterodactyl-like.
Yes, I mean, mouth of an alligator.
Now, 1890, I know it was a long time ago, but I don't think pterodactyls were alive at that time.
The sweet days of my youth.
So, moral of that story, they killed a bird. Maybe it was a pterodactyl that survived. Maybe it was a Thunderbird, and then... But, conspiracy theory, what if the government took the picture because they don't want us to know about the Thunderbird? But, more conspiracy theories later. Let's move ahead a little bit to 1977 in Lawndale, Illinois. Lawndale, not Dale, sorry. Where a 10-year-old was playing outside when 2 giant birds attacked him. Now, they were so big, right?
They picked him up like a bald eagle picking up a chihuahua.
Well, they were able to pick him up, but they didn't make it very far. See, the mom was watching from her window, and the mom ran out and, saved the boy from this huge bird.
Did she attack them with a broom?
I don't think it was a broom, but I do know she saved it.
Just because my favorite story of the Jersey Devil, which is a distinctly different creature, mind you.
Yes.
But it is the story of the Jersey Devil landing in a backyard, and he was terrified by the woman's little Shih Tzu, and she had to drive him off with a broom.
I do remember that.
Because it just stood there, like the Shih Tzu was barking at him, and the woman came out with a broom and hit it, and it flew off then.
No, I do remember that story. That's a really funny story. Now, The mother wasn't the only one to see and like save the boy. Well, she's the only one who saved the boy. But a couple of neighbors saw the boy potentially be, well, not potentially, nearly being
Spirited
abducted by
off.
the birds, right? So we have the mom seeing this, and we have the neighbors seeing this. But despite all these witnesses, of course, like the mom did go and report this. But when she went and reported these large birds, they became the laughing stock of the town, okay?
Which is a shame because one of the witnesses was famed Arizona politician, Senator John McCain.
Yeah?
What was it? The Manhattan...
Oh, the
Yeah.
Manhattan
When
Project!
she's just like, yeah, the Secretary General of the UN saw it.
No, it was her actual neighbors.
That's what this is giving. Like, all these people saw it, I swear. And somehow they still became the laughingstock of the town.
They did. I mean, the kid was bullied at school. They called him Bird Boy. And kids would find dead pigeons and throw it at their house.
Ew.
Like, they were throwing dead pigeons at their house.
Did he grow up to become that guy who tried to escape from Alcatraz with the wings?
No, that was not him.
Okay.
Now, let's get into an encounter a little bit closer to home. So, in Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania,
Oh.
Joe Mayer from South Greensburg, PA, which is in Westmoreland County, had an encounter with the Thunderbird. He was making ribs over the fire with his wife and neighbors when he heard very loud flapping behind him. He turned around to see the biggest bird he'd ever seen flying away from him at a super quick speed. He said they stared in awe at it and were so much in awe watching this huge bird fly away that they forgot to take pictures with their phone. Now,
That is really common. Of like paranormal experiences, like, I just didn't think to take my phone and take a picture.
right. And that's exactly what he said. I'll get into the documentary where he talks about this more later. But that is exactly what he said happened. They were just staring at it and they didn't get a picture of it.
Now I smell ribs.
Ribs are so good.
I know.
Well, I haven't had barbecue in so long. Get into some barbecue. Okay.
See, I make my ribs with a homemade bourbon sauce.
I don't think I'd like that.
Well, it's like a bourbon barbecue.
I don't think I'd like that.
Well, you're wrong.
Now, I do like my barbecue with mac and cheese. I think mac and cheese and barbecue is like the best combination. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Wait, you don't agree actually?
No, you asked me to tell you were wrong, so I did.
Wait, do you not? But like, what's your real opinion?
I'm very picky about barbecue sauces.
I'm not. Well,
I am. It has to be a very particular flavor category for me to enjoy a barbecue sauce.
would you eat Thunderbird ribs? What kind of barbecue sauce would you pair with the Thunderbird?
A honey barbecue.
Now, when you're trying to cook this honey barbecue Thunderbird ribs,
Or no, you know what? I think you got, because it's a bird, so it's poultry. So I think I love Cajun with poultry, so I think I'd want to go with a Cajun seasoning.
Thunderbird McChicken.
Stop. We're not allowed to have fast food. Stop bringing it up.
Thunderbird McChicken.
Stop bringing up the McChicken.
Someone make it happen. But back to the story. Now, Mark isn't the only one in Westmoreland County to see this bird. There are a lot of sightings, and people even complain of the bird eating all the fish in their pond and even taking their little dogs. So the Thunderbird is a very real problem.
Okay. I'm gonna be devil's advocate here. If this bird is huge, why is he not taking like big dogs, horses, cows?
You know, that's a good point.
Because hawks, which are big birds,
Yeah.
they take little dogs.
Yeah.
But this, we're saying, is roughly 2 to 3 times the size of a large bird, indigenous, that we're used to seeing take small dogs.
Yeah.
So why isn't it taking something larger? I mean, even Mothman, which was slightly larger than the average male, took a large dog.
I mean, it could.
And it was described as being smaller than...
You know, maybe the small dogs are just chicken nuggets for it, and it's just getting a 20-piece on its way home. So it's snatching up little dogs
Or
for a
maybe
little
it's not that
20-piece.
hungry and it's just a snack.
She's on a diet. She's a skinny Thunderbird.
Or maybe the Thunderbird has sentience and loves pets and is stealing the pets and taking it back to its nest. And it just has like a collection of these little dogs. And it just sits there. You are my babies. You are my babies.
I love that story.
Thank you. It was getting a little dark. What?
So, I didn't even darker thought. The Thunderbird's running a dog kennel. Do you know what a dog kennel is?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck the Humane Society. I'm gonna sell this dog on eBay.
The Thunderbird protests the ASPCA. He doesn't think other animals deserve rights.
I steal the dogs and I sell them in my Etsy shop.
He runs a very successful taxidermy Etsy business with the dogs.
No, I like mine so much better. Where the Thunderbird just collects these little dogs, and he has a bunch of Chihuahuas and Pomeranians and Shih Tzus running around its nest, and he just perches there. You are my babies. You are my babies.
That's a really cute dog.
Thank you.
Now, one particular sighting in Westmoreland County in Greenberg happened to a man named Mike in September of 2001.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. The Thunderbird knew about 9/11 and did nothing. So keep that in mind next time 9/11 rolls around. Now, Mike would look up over the highway, Highway 119 to be exact,
Okay.
after hearing some very loud flapping, not to be confused with very loud fapping. He heard what he described as flags flapping in a thunderstorm. You know how flags, they aggressively flap and they're really loud? That's what he described it as. And he saw what he thought was a plane at first, but then he realized it was a huge bird.
When was this?
It was September of 2001.
In Greensburg.
Yes.
Are we sure he didn't see Flight 93 go down and his mind couldn't comprehend it, so it's substituted?
I didn't even think about that, DJ. Do you think he actually saw 9/11?
Hang on. Where's Greensburg?
Greensburg, Pennsylvania is like an hour, 45 minutes south of Pittsburgh. Guys, sorry, I didn't mean to use my weird voice. I'll stop.
I'm trying to find where Somerset is. That's filling water.
Wait, did it go over Somerset?
It crashed in Somerset.
Oh.
Hang on, let me find Greensburg again. I lost Greensburg.
I think the people of Greensburg have lost Greensburg, honestly.
Directions. to... Which way was it flying?
Bitch, I don't know.
Because it's like to the east. It's like an hour east.
So maybe he did. Maybe he saw 9/11. Okay.
I don't know when exactly he saw that, but like, I hate to say it, but...
Maybe he mistook the 9/11 plane.
No, like, because sometimes when people see really traumatic shit, their brain will insert something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, they don't have the mental capacity to comprehend it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it very much could be. Maybe he saw, like, a Thunderbird documentary, like, beforehand, and then his mind just replaced that with Thunderbird. Which, hey, why not? There are a lot of sightings in this area, and one researcher named Eric Altman, who is the go-to research of this area, he researches like the paranormal and the Thunderbird and stuff. And if you're interested to hear like what he has to say about the Thunderbird and stuff, if you go to the Absolute Sci-Fi YouTube channel and their series called The Boogeyman, just their Thunderbird episode of that series, you can hear him talk all about the Thunderbird because he is very passionate about it. And it's like a 45-minute documentary that focuses only on the sightings in Greensburg. So that tells you just how many like sightings in Greensburg there are. They actually go on a Thunderbird hunt during this series. Like, they go out and about into the woods and try and, like, find the nest. They try and, like, see the Thunderbird and stuff.
Were they successful?
No, they didn't find anything. And actually, it was kind of rough what they did during the documentary because they had, like, someone who actually works for the agricultural service there talking the same time they're doing this. And the agricultural guy is like, yeah, there's no Thunderbird. We would have found it by now. But...
Yikes. Not Department of Agriculture.
I don't know. I'd like to think since there's so many sightings, I think there's some validity there. And I think there's something going on in Greensburg. But enough about there. Let's move on to Alaska. Because most of the Thunderbird activity in Alaska actually happens in the Alaska Triangle, which if you don't know what the Alaska Triangle is...
It's like the Bridgewater Triangle, but in Alaska.
Exactly. It's the place... the triangle in Alaska, where most of the paranormal activity happens there. So it's no surprise that that's where they see the Thunderbird the most up there.
And it's centered around Sarah Palin's house.
Shut the fuck up. Not Sarah Palin.
I can see Russia from my house.
So in 2002, a pilot and passengers of a plane witnessed a huge bird the size of a smaller plane flying near them. Someone else near them saw it and reported it to a neighboring town, and the neighboring town got so concerned, it actually ordered a stay-in-place order and made the people stay inside because this, like, huge bird was flying around. And, like, if you think about it, like, even a small plane is huge, right? And also, this comes back to something where multiple witnesses are seeing this. There were multiple people in that plane that saw this bird, and they took it so seriously that they, like, said, y'all need to stay inside because this bird's a-coming around. It's happening, okay?
And those Alaskan people don't fuck around.
Right. Then, in 2004, two hunters witnessed what they thought was a very tall person standing on a hill about a mile from them. So they looked at their binoculars and discovered that it wasn't a man, but they couldn't tell what it was, so they had to get closer to see exactly what this tall figure was on that distant hill. And once they were about a half mile from the figure, it spread its wings. And they actually said the wingspan was so large, it encompassed, like, the entire hill. Like, it, like, stretched out to each side of the hill.
I don't like
if you
that.
can picture that. So it's this huge bird, and with one flap, it was airborne and took off.
Do you know what that's giving?
What?
Mothman.
Mothman.
Because when they first saw him, he was standing on a hill and he just spread its wings.
Oh,
and with
yeah.
barely any movement, just took off.
Yeah, it is giving that. It is giving that. Now, this, the hunters did say the creature was so big that it could easily pick up a moose. And if you don't know, moose are huge.
Moose are huge.
They're so much bigger than people realize. They said it could pick up a human too, but I feel like being able to pick up a moose is a lot more impressive than picking up a human, you know?
A moose is like 15 Pauls or 5 DJs.
Oh, DJ, oh my gosh. You're being so mean to yourself this episode.
Okay, I really just wanted to see if you were going to correct me or not. I was fishing for a compliment.
No, DJ. It's not 5 of you. It's more like 8. Just kidding. It's 15 of DJs for one moose. There's 15 DJs to a moose. You're welcome.
I actually don't know how much a moose weighs. I'm just guessing.
Neither do I. Now that we have some encounters and stories under our belt, let's get into some theories. Because honestly, a lot of these sightings are the same shit. It's just people seeing big birds, okay? Now.
Is he teaching them the ABCs and how to be kind to one another?
No, he's teaching them the opposite.
I know, but we keep talking about big birds. So I had to make a big bird joke in here somewhere.
I know. Does Big Bird, like, talk a weird way or anything? Like, does he have a specific voice?
It's not like a Muppet voice, but...
Yeah, it's just a regular?
Yeah, it's pretty regular.
Okay. Let's get into some theories,
Okay.
DJ. So, some scientists think the Thunderbird could have stemmed from Native Americans discovering pterodactyl fossils and not knowing what it was.
Okay.
Because, you know, back in that time, like Native American time, they didn't really have like science. They didn't know about the dinosaurs and things. There was some fact I read like a little bit ago where there were like some presidents who didn't know like
George Washington, because dinosaurs weren't discovered until like 3 years after he died.
Exactly. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that. But yeah, so the Native Americans definitely didn't know about dinosaurs. They just saw bones. Like if they found these big bird bones, they had no reason not to think like that bird was probably still around and it's a huge fucking bird. So the Thunderbird stories could have stemmed from that. Now, another theory is that the Thunderbird could have been an extinct bird called the Teratornis mariami. And that's basically just a massive bird that's thought to be extinct. But maybe it's not extinct.
Gigantopithecus.
Is that from something?
That's a theory about what Bigfoot might be. Gigantopithecus was a giant extinct primate.
Now, another theory is that the Thunderbird sightings could just be like really large birds, because like even bald eagles are super big, and someone who's like maybe
Mistaken identity.
Exactly, mistaken identity. Like hawks can even be huge, falcons can be huge. Like so, someone who may not have seen one of those birds before and saw that.
And we're also hearing stories about like little kids seeing them, and like when you're a kid, you can perceive things as being much larger than they actually are.
Right. Let's go back to the Teratornis, or whatever it's called, because I want to real quick throw in there that scientists say that bird can reach up to 20 feet, which does fit into like how long they said that Thunderbird could be its wingspan.
The wingspan.
Yeah, so could be back to the Teratornis.
The next time we go to the aviary, we should ask them.
Right. And you know what? There are a lot of animals that we thought to be extinct that do reappear. I saw today on TikTok that there were like 8 or 9 of those.
It happens all the time.
That we think are extinct, but they're actually still alive, and we rediscover them and find they're not extinct and they're actually still out there.
Or that we think are myths, like the giant squid.
Right. I think the giant squid's out there.
No, they found it.
They found it?
They found it.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they found it like 10 years ago. And it is as big as they all said. But the problem is it lives at like such a deep depth
that we never see it.
That we never see it. And we knew it was out there like within the last 50 years because like bodies would wash up on beaches, or like it would be found like a whale would have it like in its mouth, or like when whale hunting was a thing, they'd find in the whale's stomach. But no, like they finally like got photographic evidence of like a fully grown giant squid, and it was huge.
Awesome. Now I do have a paranormal theory for you, besides it being like a physical actual bird. I have a theory that it might be a spiritual being, actually.
It could be.
Like, because I like to, like, kind of tie in the Thunderbird to being in with the Bigfoot, and, like, just kind of part of that whole area.
Okay, and that it can, like, jump dimensions and come and go as it pleases.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Thunderbird is, like, a spiritual being instead. And, like, it does appear and it is real, but it's more of a spiritual being than kind of, like, a physical one that people like to think of it as. But other than that, I didn't find any, like, other real, like, theories about what it could be besides the ones I presented in that one spiritual one I had. So, DJ, what do you think about your Thunderbird? Overall,
I don't know what to think because there's so many sightings.
Right.
And there's apparently this picture, and I want to know where that picture went. Where did it go? Who has it?
It's a government cover-up. They're lying to us. No, they're lying to us, DJ. But that is the Thunderbird. My main theory is that I like to think it's a spiritual being, like kind of like Bigfoot and whatnot. But if we boil it down, I think the case of mistaken identity, or even really like the extinct bird that could be real, or maybe just like the power of suggestion. People hear these Native American folklores, like it did start with them finding the pterodactyl bones, and then the Native Americans made that story of the Thunderbird, and then it just kind of stuck and evolved from there. And then since people knew about the story of the Thunderbird, they were more likely to have that case of mistaken identity. Do I think the Thunderbird is real? Yes, I think the Thunderbird is real. It's out there, and I'd like to think it's a spiritual being. What do you think?
I like that theory. I'm going to go with that too.
Period.
Ditto.
Now, I do have a smash or pass for you. If we could go to my very last picture.
Okay.
So, smash or pass, Mr. Mime from Pokemon.
I have never passed so hard in my life as I'm going to pass.
What, Mr. Mime's not doing it for you, DJ?
If he is, I would like you to see.
You don't want to lay in bed with Mr. Mime and have him mime out all the dirty, nasty.
No. No. No.
There's actually Pokemon theories.
No.
That Mr.
No. No, please.
There's
Take me, Sky. I offer myself up. Let me leave my husk behind and ascend to a higher spiritual plane.
There's Pokemon theories that Mr. Mime was banging Ash's mom because Mr. Mime was Ash's mom's Pokemon. And there are theories on the internet about that. I'm gonna have to pass on Mr. Mime too, though. He looks crazy.
Just look at those crazy fingers. Could you imagine getting finger blasted by those?
He sticks all what he got. Oh, he's only got 5. Okay, they're just in weird places.
They're not weird. They're like weirdly bulb shaped.
Yeah,
Just
no. We're gonna pass on Mr. Mime.
Pass so hard.
But the Thunderbird, out of all the things I've researched, the Thunderbird was kind of the most meh. But
Interesting.
so
Sorry.
I had to tie in the Pokemon in there because there is a Pokemon based on the Thunderbird called Zapdos, and it's one of the legendary bird Pokemon. So Zapdos is the Pokemon who controls like thunder and lightning and things, kind of like the Thunderbird does.
Okay.
And the Pokemon creators actually did base Zapdos on the Thunderbird. So that's where today's Pokemon theme did stem from. And there's also people who say, like, you know, the Thunderbird car?
Mm-hmm.
Some people say that they made that car because of the
It
Thunderbird.
was named after. And I do know that
Named after, yeah. Sorry.
in the Harry Potter Wizarding universe,
Mm-hmm.
that at the American Wizardry School in Vermore, one of their houses is the Thunderbird house, I believe.
That's really interesting, actually. Did you know? No, what time are we at? Go have time to say
An
this.
hour.
Okay. Did you know that Pokemon's Animal Kingdom actually it was supposed to be 3 things, 3 different spots. There was supposed to be alive animals, like real alive animals, and then extinct animals, and then imaginary animals. So there were going to be 3 separate places. I saw that on TikTok last night. So potentially maybe the Thunderbird could have been a part of the Animal Kingdom, but they did scrap that idea. Now, I'm not a Disney person, though. It just came up on my TikTok,
Okay.
the Crips and Quirks TikTok, so maybe it stemmed from your
It's
viewings.
basically yours because I get text messages all day. Crips and Quirk shared a TikTok with you.
Oh, yeah, I do that. I do that a lot. Final thoughts on the Thunderbird, DJ.
I think it's very interesting. It's a great story.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really don't appreciate that man calling me a beached whale when I was just trying to enjoy reading on a hike.
Oh my gosh. So you...
I was singing to myself. These whale calls.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I need the song. I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
That sounds surprisingly like that whale calls. That was surprisingly accurate.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, PJ.
Bet you didn't know I spoke whale.
No, I did not know that about you.
Anything else?
Nope, let's wrap this bitch up.
Thank you so much for listening. Please share your thoughts with us and follow us on all of our social medias listed below. Also, if you have personal stories, please email us. Also at the email address found below. Paul, where can I find you when you're at home?
You can find me in Pallet Town. And when I'm not in Pallet Town, you can find me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. And as usual, guys, it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
And if you'd like to follow me, you can do so by following me on TikTok and on Instagram at TheRealDeechPowers. And with that, that's all she wrote. Until next time, keep your crypts tight.
And your corks loose.
Bye. Don't peek. I don't want to peek at you taking a Squirtle.